again, we're talking about some other entity stepping in between the patient-physician relationship. I think that I want to know what medicine my patient is receiving, and if it's just automatically substituted and I'm not notified, that creates a problem. If my patient is not doing well on a medicine after a period of time, I'm going to assume that they're not taking their medicine. If it was substituted, I'm going to make an incorrect decision about that, and we're going to run into all sorts of other problems down the line based on the lack of valid data.
The prospect of automatic substitution concerns physicians for the following reasons. Number one, these are not generic drugs. Generic drugs have the same identical chemical component as the originator drug. Biosimilars, on the other hand, they're similar to, but they're not identical to the originator drug. On the one hand, we have chemistry with the generics, and those are small molecules. On the other hand, with the biologics, we really have farming at a micro level. It's we're using living cells, living organisms, and because of that, at this time, it's not possible to make two exactly the same biologic medications coming from two different cell lines. So they may be very similar, but they're not considered to be identical. And if they're not identical, then the potential problems involve efficacy, safety, immunogenicity. They may be affected by whatever small difference there is between these molecules. So that's the concern. The other thing that is of concern is doctors want to know what medication their patient's on, and that's critically important, because if they're not responding to the medication, you need to know which medication were they not responding to so you can move on to something better. And if they don't know which drug their patient's getting, that they can't make that decision. That's a real problem.
I think the really important thing about the substitution is that everybody is notified and knows what's going on. If I'm told that there's been a substitution for whatever reason, I can factor that into my decision making, and the patient knows it, and the patient can say yes or no, I don't want to get substituted because I'm nervous or for whatever reason. But without that transparency, without that notification, and without the tracking that comes along with it, we're all just shooting in the dark, and we really prefer to do evidence-based medicine. Until physicians are not held accountable for prescribing, I think that we need to have the authority to make those decisions. If PBM or an insurer wants to take on that responsibility and that accountability, then they can take care of my patient.